Okay, let's start because others might take time, I feel. Okay, now last class. Okay, in the last class we discussed about classical conditioning theory. Any doubts in class? Those who are present and any doubt in classical conditioning theory, please let me know, students. Today we'll be discussing a very important theory, which we call it as operant theory. Okay, this is a quite interesting theory, wherein he was a person, Skinner. He thought whatever classical conditioning theory is there. Okay, this is quite different from that theory. Okay, he just wanted to comment on, not comment actually. He came up with his own concept for telling how the human behavior behaves, how the behavior changes when it reinforces and when it is punished. Okay, that's what the theory is all about. So let's understand. Okay, maybe others should take time, students. Let's start this because we need to run through the portion now. Okay, okay. Let's start with the operant conditioning theory. Okay, we are in page 5, operant or instrumental conditioning. Okay, instrumental conditioning. This question will be asked in the paper. Either they'll ask you to write operant conditioning theory, operant or instrumental. Both the meaning is same. Okay, it was defined by B.F. Skinner, was a person who came up with this instrumental conditioning or reinforcement theory. Okay, operant conditioning. So operant conditioning has been divided into two. One is reinforcement and one more is punishment. Okay. When we say reinforcement, students, please understand, serves to increase the behavior. Okay. Why reinforcement is done? It is served to increase the behavior, whereas punishment, the word itself says to decrease the behavior. Okay. One is to increase the behavior. Okay. Means to serve the increase the behavior, which we call it as reinforce. In the diagram, you can see clearly mentioned increase behavior, whereas punishment is going to decrease the behavior. Okay, is it audible, clear? Hello?
Yes, so
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay, now let's understand this. If you see in the reinforcement, there are two things, one is positive and one more is negative. The same is going to happen in the punishment as well. Okay, one is positive and one is negative. Okay, now how this operant conditioning theory works? Okay, he said that whatever Pavlian did with the classical conditioning theory with the dog, okay, but here he wanted to check with an every individual. Okay, B.F. Skinner wanted to check with an every individual, does this really work out with every individual? And which he proved it right. Okay, so let's understand positive reinforcement. What is positive reinforcement? Okay, Skinner defined two aspects of operant conditioning. One is reinforcement and punishment. Okay, positive reinforcement involves presenting a favorable outcome, such as giving a child a treat when she cleans her room. Okay, so in your school days, you might have gone through this. Even now, you might have gone through this. Okay, this is something reinforces you to do something. Okay, many times your parents might have told without you asking. Okay, uh, they might give you a treat, or else they might buy you a bicycle. They might have bought you a bicycle or as a mobile, or else something which was not asked by you. Okay, this is something without you asking, they give it to you, and that reinforces you to keep up the hopes of those people, and you go on doing the same task in a very well mannered. That's what we call it as positive reinforcement. Okay, uh, is that clear, students? Okay, I'll plug in some more examples so that it will be very clear for you. Okay, before you ask for the discount in the shop, the shopkeeper himself gives you some discounts. Okay, which which reinforces you to visit to that particular shop before you think about it, because he has given a good service to you. So what you do is you repeatedly go and buy the products from the same shop, because before you ask something, he gave you the discount. Okay, that's what we call it as reinforcement, positive reinforcement. Okay, now negative reinforcement, when I say, okay, in your school days your parents might have said you don't like a particular food. Okay, so I'll just give a family as an example, then I'll come to brands as an example, students. You don't like a particular food, say for example you don't like potato. Okay, or else you don't like bread, you don't like chapati what is prepared at home. Okay, then your parents might say, okay, If you want bread and jam, then you should eat at least one chapati. And that is something we call it as negative reinforcement. Means to get something, you have to sacrifice something over here. We call it as negative reinforcement. The same happens in the brands as well, okay, in the products as well. If you buy three, only then you get one free. Okay, if you buy two, only then you get this product. If you buy the cell phone, only then you get the headphone. Okay, so this is something we call it as negative reinforcement. Okay, now any questions in positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement, please let me know, students. Very important concept. Okay, what is positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement? Any questions in this, please let me know. Can go through that handouts. Okay, any questions in that? With the only with the reinforcement, then punishment I'll be taking it now. What is punishment? Let's do it. But before that, any questions with positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement, please let me know. Okay, shall we move to punishment? If there is no doubt in reinforcement, yes, no, just one message or yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay. Okay, then coming to this positive punishment and negative punishment. Okay, positive punishment means applying an unpleasant event. You after a behavior. Okay, after a behavior, an unpleasant event happens. Then after a behavior. Now, stacking for example, for positive punishment. Okay, this type of punishment is often referred to punishment by application. A negative consequence is directly applied to reduce the unwanted behavior. Okay, positive punishment. Okay, say for example, if you make any mistake, okay, then immediately you're punished. Okay, that's what we call it as positive punishment. Okay, immediately you're punished for whatever you're done. We call it as positive punishment. Now taking you taking what we say brands as an example or showroom as an example. If you are in a showroom and if the baby in the showroom all of a sudden if it opens the pack, okay, of the chocolate or something, immediately you are supposed to make the payment of the particular product because it has opened, the child has opened the pack of the particular product, and immediately the payment has to be made. You can't say that unknowingly he has done this. No, you have to pay for whatever the mistake has been done. We call it as positive punishment. Negative punishment, taking general as an example, don't write it in the paper, just to make you understand. I have written in the paper. Okay, negative punishment, say for example, if you don't clean the room, okay, if the baby doesn't clean the room, then he or she is not allowed to go for playing outside the ground, in the ground, or else you're not allowed to play the video game. So this is negative punishment, what we say. Okay, now taking company as an example, students. Okay, if negative punishment, if you do not have the warranty card, okay, then the service is not given by the supplier. Okay, if you lost the warranty card, then the supplier cannot give service to your product because you don't have that warranty card with you, so he can't give the service to you. Okay, though you say that you have bought the product, but what is the proof for that particular product? We call it as negative punishment. Okay, so positive punishment and negative punishment. So any questions in this, please let me know, students. Quite a simple theory. Okay, with the examples it will be very clear. So any questions in that, just let me know. Have a glance at this. Okay. Okay, so that's all about operant or instrumental operant theory, or as we call it as instrumental conditioning theory. Okay, in the exam you are supposed to draw this diagram, students. Okay, operant conditioning, put those things. At the bottom, whatever is written, you need not write this. Add aptitude, stimulus not required. Just say positive, negative, positive, negative. That's more than enough. And in the reinforcement, please write increase behavior, and the punishment, please write decrease behavior. That's very important. Okay. So any doubts in that, please let me know, or else we'll straight away move to attitude. Any questions? Is the theory clear, students? Class, sorry, operant conditioning theory. Okay. Any questions? Any ambiguity? Okay, shall we move to the next part? The second part of this module is attitude. Shall we move to the next part? Hello? If there are no questions in operant conditioning theory.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, the next is attitude. Okay, in general, students, what is attitude? Okay, to put it in a very precise and very short form, okay, when we say attitude, okay, there are many definitions which are given about the attitude, blah blah blah. Many things have happened. Okay, so it's defined. There are many ways to define attitude. Several definitions are currently accepted. Okay, basically, attitude is a stable, enduring position to evaluate an object or entity. Okay, in a particular way. Okay, so attitude, when we say, students, okay, it's the behavior, what we say, what is the behavior of the particular person or as a general feeling of the particular person. Okay, now say for example, uh, taking corporate as an example, we, for the freshers, we often ask them if you are working for UK shift or as US shift, okay, are you comfortable working in the night shifts? Okay, one person is happily saying that yes, he is comfortable working in the night shift, but the other person says no, I'm not comfortable working in the night shift. So these are two different attitudes what we see. Okay, so this is something in short, students, please remember, always remember this. It's the person's general feeling, we call it as attitude. What is a general? Either it can be favorable or unfavorable, doesn't matter. So that's what we call it as attitude. Your attitude towards the particular person might be positive, but for the other person it might be negative. Okay, because it's a general feeling. Okay, you can't change it. Okay, so the next part, nature of attitude, it's a general thing, students. Just in the bracket, please write it as general. Okay. Now coming to the very important part, please put a star mark, students. A very important question for the exam point of view. Okay. Models of attitude and marketing implication in that tri-component model. Okay. Uh, Again, I would like to say this, tri-component model is very different from your retailing wheel of retailing. Okay, many times students write wheel of retailing for tri-component model, or is in the retail paper they write tri-component model. No, these are two different theories or as models what we are going to discuss now. Okay, so tri-component model of attitude consists of three parts. Okay, please remember there are three parts of tri-component model. One is cognitive, second is affective, and cognitive. Okay, cognitive, affective, and cognitive. So in cognitive, what happens? It captures the consumer's knowledge and perception towards the particular products and services. Okay, here cognition, as we have discussed in unit 1 itself, what is cognition? Okay, now cognitive component, what the customer thinks about the particular product, what are his thoughts. Now say for example, if I ask you how is 5G, what is 5G connection, how is it, your thoughts are very different. You might be thinking that it is 10 times faster than 4G connection, or else it might be really really fast, maybe 100 mbps or whatever it is, some thought might come to you. So this is something I call it as cognition. Okay, now say for example, COVID vaccine has come in the market. If someone says it, that's again a cognitive component, because you're not sure about it, but your thoughts are very different. So in the handout, you can see cognitive component thoughts. Why do we feel this way? Means you need not write in the paper, just to make you understand. I've written it. Okay, cognitive is something imagination. You're going to think, the thoughts are going to come to your mind. That's what we call cognitive. Then the second thing, what the customer or as the consumer has an attitude is affective component. Okay, affective component focuses on the consumer's emotions or feeling with respect to a particular product or service. The affective component determines an individual overall assessment of an object in terms of kind or favorable scorings. Okay, feelings and emotions. Now many people have feelings and emotions towards the particular products. Okay, uh, to be very honest with you, let me ask you this question: how many of you like to watch cricket only with the commentary only in English. Is there anyone who prefers the commentary should be only in English? Anyone? Or else, is there anyone who prefers the commentary should be only in Hindi? Only then you accept that channel.
So Hindi.
Hindi. Okay, fine. So this is what we check over here, students. He falls under affective component. Okay, now feelings and emotions. You have an emotion towards the particular brands. If I'm not wrong, I might have asked you this many times. Okay, few people have an emotion towards the particular outlet. Maybe people in Belgavi, I've seen this. They have an emotion towards the Poddar gold jewelry shop because they have an emotion towards this particular shop, the services provided by him, and they go for buying it. Okay, if you ask me this question, then for me it's always Tanishq. Okay, so this is something an emotion towards the particular outlet. What I have, to be very frank with you, that's what I call it as affective component. Okay, and the third is behavioral component. Okay, behavioral component. The other word for behavioral component is cognitive component. Is concerned with the likelihood that the consumer will act in a specific fashion with respect to an attitude object. Cognitive component is many times treated as an expression of the customer intention to buy. Okay, in behavioral component is say for example, you go to a particular outlet, you have not made plans to buy a particular product, but you will make an intention to buy on that particular day and you buy the product. That's what we called as behavioral component. Okay, so is it making sense, students? What is behavioral component? Here what happens, the customer goes for making some action. When I say you're not decided to buy, okay, but on that particular time your attitude automatically changes, okay, and you go for buying the product. Okay, cognitive component, what we say, is many times treated as an expression of the customer intention to buy. Okay, many times you go to a showroom and you have no plans to buy, but all of a sudden because of the service or the quality of the product or as the ambience, you tend to buy some products. That's what we call it as behavioral component. So customer, please remember, every customer goes through this component, three components. One is cognitive, second is affective, and third is behavioral. Now all clubbed together, three. Can anyone give me examples of all these three? Cognitive, affective, and behavioral. Any one example? Anyone, students? Keeping all these three things in the mind, tri-component model: cognitive, affective, and cognitive. Anyone? You had a thought, or else you have a thought about the particular product. You have a feeling or emotion towards the particular product, and you made an action towards the particular product. Anyone? Hello? Cognitive, affective, and cognitive.
So please explain it once, sir. With
Yeah,
one
okay,
example.
I'll do that. Cognitive is something, an imagination you have, Shreyans. That's what we call it as cognitive. Okay, I'll give one example. Okay, I have a cognitive towards Ducati bike. I have a cognitive. Okay, I have a thought. It will go up to 300 speed or 400 speed or whatever it is. Okay, one. Then affective over here is I have a feeling, I have an emotion towards this particular bike. I have an emotion. One or the other day I want to buy this particular bike. I have an emotion. Behavioral is maybe after 2 years I will buy this product. Okay? I'm going to do an action maybe after 2 years. Okay, that's what I call it as behavioral component. Is that clear? Example?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, guys, can you just plug in some examples? Cognitive, affective, and cognitive.
Sir, Royal Enfield bike, sir.
Okay, you had a thought about this particular bike,
Yes, sir.
or at present you have a thought. Okay, you have an emotion towards this bike.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and cognitive, maybe in future or as
In future, I'll buy it.
yeah, yes, you're going to do some action. Yeah, great. Yes, others.
Sir, Gucci
Yeah.
shoes, sir.
Sorry, Yasin.
Gucci shoes, sir.
Okay, Gucci. Okay,
Yeah, sir.
you have a cognitive about this particular product. Means you have thought
Yes,
this
sir.
particular product might be really soft or good or whatever it is, and you have an
Yes,
emotion towards this particular product, right?
yes, sir. To buy it.
To buy it, and the behavioral would be, the cognitive will be in future or somewhere you are going to buy it. You're going to do some
Yes.
action towards this particular product. Yeah, great. That's really nice. Others? I had a very nice example. I wanted to buy this Sensodyne toothpaste, okay, because of the gums problem or sensitivity problem. Okay, that was a nice example, which I gave it to your seniors last year. But the behavioral has already happened for this particular bike, so I can't plug a particular toothpaste, so I can't plug that as an example now. Yeah. Others, yeah. Any views? Any one person? Last? Anyone? Okay. Okay, shall we move to the next part? Multi-attribute model. Yes, no. Okay, take your time, students. If okay, shall we move to the next part? Multi-attribute model. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, multi-attribute model. Okay, 3 marks question in your paper. A separate question will be asked in the paper for 3 marks. Okay, what is multi-attribute model? Okay. Here, multi-attribute, when we say multi-attribute models like attitude towards an object, attitude towards a behavior and the theory or reason, action models have received much attention from the consumer researchers. Okay, this model examines consumer belief about the specific product attribute. So I have underlined that, students, in the handout. This model examine consumer beliefs about the specific product attribute. It is going to speak about the specific product attributes. Okay, now how it works, let's understand this. This theory of trying is designed. This theory of trying is designed to account for many cases in which the action or outcome is not certain. Please understand, in this theory, the action or outcome is not certain. That's the key point. The attitude towards the ad models examine the influence of the advertisement on the consumer attitudes towards the brand. Okay, now let's understand what is this multi-attribute model with the help of example. Bike mileage in the ad says 70. Okay, so here if you check this model examines consumer belief about the specific product attributes. You saw an advertisement in the television. In the advertisement, they said this particular bike will give you 70 mileage for 1 liter of petrol. It is going to give you 70 mileage. So again, I say this model examines consumer belief about the specific product attribute. So what was the attribute? You felt that, oh, this bike is going to give me 70 kilometer mileage per liter. Okay, but the action or outcome is not certain. When you actually bought this product, then the multi-attribute happened over here, because the bike is not giving you 70 mileage, it might give you 50 mileage. So that's what we call it as multi-attribute attitude model. Okay, so your attitude towards the particular brand or the product changed. Okay, now this was one example. Can you plug in some examples, students? Anyone? Multi-attribute attitude model. Always remember, there's a key point. Action or outcome is not certain. Any one example? Any few examples? Not one example. Quite an easy model. Anyone?
Hello,
Vinit
sir.
is, yeah, yes, please.
Ordering something online and it may come good or it may have a bad quality. There's no
Okay,
certainty.
okay, fine. Yeah, you need not take the website as
Product.
any example. Yeah, that's fine. That's really nice. Good. Yes, perfect. You ordered something online and you're awaiting for the best quality, but you're not sure about it. Yeah, great, good example. Others? Any examples? That's a nice example, Tanvi. Good. Others? Any
Thank you,
examples?
sir.
So,
Yes.
can we take a fairness cream, sir? Like Fair and
Yes,
Lovely.
fairness claim. Yeah. Perfect. Fairness claim as an example. You expected that 7 दिन में गोरे बनेंगे, but it
Yes,
didn't
sir.
work out. Okay, fine. Yeah. Good. Perfect. Okay, fine. That's really nice. Good example. Others? Any attempt you want to give? Yeah, Shreyans?
Sir, Tresemme shampoo, sir. Salon effect.
What happened with Tresemme shampoo? May I know this?
सर दे से दैट द सलाम घर में है करके बोलते सर, लेकिन द एक्सपेक्टेशंस आर समथिंग एल्स एंड आउटकम इज समथिंग एल्स ओनली सर.
Oh my God. Sorry, I was a part of the launch of this Tresemme. So I want to know more from you. What was your expectation from Tresemme? Please let me know.
Sir, it's not my experience, sir. One of
Okay,
my friends.
okay, fine. Okay, okay, okay. Tresemme was a global product, Shreyans. Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll accept this example. That's good. Okay. Then others, anyone? Any other examples? That's really nice. Good. Okay. Good students. Okay. Okay, maybe the last part of this, and the next part will be covered by Stephen. Stephen is absent today. I don't know he'll cover this or no. Okay. Stephen, are you in the session today? Hello, Stephen. Okay. Shall I start? I'll start with elaboration likelihood model, but take a minute or so, students. Just have a glance at it. Whatever we covered now. Any questions in that? Please let me know. Else, I'll start with elaboration likelihood model. Okay, shall we move to elaboration likelihood model? Hello? Any question in the previous, whatever we discussed, any couple of minutes back, whatever we discussed, any questions in that, please let me know. Else we'll move to the again an important part, maybe for sometimes for 3 marks, sometimes for 7 marks asked in the paper. Elaboration likelihood model. Okay. Okay, shall we start, students? Elaboration likelihood model. Hello? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. We'll start elaboration likelihood model. Again, an important model. Again, I repeat, not for 10 marks question, either for 3 marks or else for 7 marks. Okay. Uh, Most of the time for 3 marks. Okay. Sometimes it was asked for 7 marks. I don't know why this question was asked for 7 marks. Okay. So elaboration likelihood model. Sometimes whenever listening to a speech or a television advertisement, we are moved by what the speaker says. Other times we pay less attention to what the person is actually saying and care more about the person's speaker presence. Okay, this might have happened. This usually happens with you now during online class as well, even the offline class as well. You are more concerned about the faculty standing in front of you, but your mind is somewhere else. It happens. Okay, so nothing wrong in that. Elaboration likelihood model indicates the factors that determine which of this is more likely. Okay, what is this theory all about? It is a theory that specifies when a person are more likely to be influenced by the content of the persuasive communication instead of superficial characteristics and vice versa. Many times you as a customer, okay, you are really concerned about the content of the advertisement, but what is the product actually, you're not worried. Maybe in the next semester in IMC subject you'll be getting into the detail of it, but as of now please understand what is this elaboration likelihood model. Okay, it helps us to explain how attitude are formed and changed through persuasion. So this is basically on the persuasion, how the attitude is formed and how it is changed. Okay, So this model has got two routes of persuasion. One is central and one is peripheral. Okay, that can be successful in changing someone's attitude under the right circumstances. So there are two persuasion students. One is central route of persuasion, and second is peripheral route of persuasion. What you are going to perceive, what you are going to think. Okay, when discussing the elaboration likelihood model, we use the term elaborate to mean to think elaborately about something. So the word itself says elaboration means you are going to think, you are going to elaborate it. That's what we call it as elaboration. Okay, so it has got something called as central route of persuasion. The central route of persuasion is when people elaborate on the persuasion argument, listening carefully and thinking about the logic behind the message. Okay, if you see this here, please underline this if you got a printout of this. Okay, or else just remember what's the key point over here. The central route of persuasion is when people elaborate on the persuasive argument, listening carefully and thinking the logic behind the message. They are going to think the logic behind the message. There are times when people are motivated to pay attention to the facts during the speech or other persuasive communication, and during those that are persuaded by most of the strong logical arguments. If a person believes the persuasion to be reliable, convincing, and well constructed, he or she will typically be receptive to change his attitude as long as lasting. Now, just a couple of minutes back, Shreyansh told me Tresemme shampoo. Okay, this is something, there is a logic behind using this particular product. Or as take an example of Head and Shoulders, or take an example of what we say, the malt drink. If you drink this particular malt, okay, then you're going to become taller, stronger, sharper. The logic behind, if you check this, then you would not buy this particular product. Okay, making sense, students? Okay, so when we say this, this is central route of persuasion, means the customer is going to get into the depth of it, going to trying to know the real reason behind the marketer going to market the product. Only then he go for buying the product. He tries to understand the logic behind the particular advertisement. Only then he goes for buying. Now take an example of sneaker as an example. Okay, the advertisement says if you eat sneaker, then you'll not feel hungry. Is it true, students? Have you ever tried this? The sneaker chocolate. You ate this and you didn't feel hungry for an hour or so. Did this actually happen? Hello?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
I had a full meal on that particular day after eating a chocolate. To be very honest.
Same here, sir.
Yeah. So this is something we try to understand the logic behind it. The marketer wants to push the product, and we'll get influenced by this. Okay. So this is central route. The word itself saying you're going to get in the detail of it. You're going to understand the logic behind it, and then you're going to. Please cancel this example. Quite a confusing example what I put. Okay. If you want, you can.
Sir, Red Bull, sir.
Red Bull, yes, of course, yes. Yeah, Red Bull is a quite a good example again. You can write that as.
It gives you the wings.
Yeah. We as an Vim, we did one advertisement. We called 1,000 people in the street and tried to wash the vessels. And we said with 1 spoon of Vim liquid, we can wash 1,000 spoons of vessels. So this is something, if you understand the logic behind it, then you'll get to know why these advertisements are made in the market. Ramesh and Suresh of 5-star, okay, they forget themselves. When we eat, we don't forget ourselves. Even the shopkeeper will not forget us. He'll ask for the money. Okay, so please understand. So this is something we call it as central route of persuasion. Then comes the peripheral route of persuasion. There are other times when people are not motivated by the facts and instead they pursued by superficial things, such as attractiveness or fame of the person delivering the message. This is the peripheral route of persuasion. The peripheral means the route from where it is coming. When the people do not elaborate on the persuasive argument, instead they are saved by the surface characteristics of the peripheral to the message. When using this route of peripheral, cues enable the individual to use mental shortcuts, accepting or rejecting the argument based on the superficial factors instead of actively thinking about the issue. Attitude change resulting in the peripheral route of persuasion. Okay. Example, you can take many examples, students. Okay. I want to give some example. Whatever I have written, you can have a glance at this. Okay. Ajay Devgan says, okay, in the advertisement, Kesar ka Rang, okay, Vimal Kesar ka Rang. So this Ajay Devgan is promoting this product, so we are buying it. Say for example, Ajay Devgan and Kajol are endorsed in an advertisement which is called Lifebuoy, okay, which is 99.9% it kills the germs. Okay, so we believe this advertisement and we go for buying this particular product. So this is what we called as, okay, Peripheral route of persuasion means we are believing that particular person who is going to endorse the product and not the product. We are believing that person and when, but we are not thinking the logic behind the particular product. Okay, Amitabh Bachchan or someone says Sachin Tendulkar says luminous batteries are good. Virat Kohli says I drink Boost so I play such a good cricket, and people believe it and they go for buying it because they're believing the person and they're not understanding the logic behind this advertisement. That's what we call it as peripheral route of persuasion. Can you come up with some example, students, for this peripheral route of persuasion? Have you ever seen such advertisement and you believed it and you got it? You never understood the logic
Yes,
behind it.
sir. That Garnier
Garnier, take care, Garnier.
by
Yeah.
Alia, sir. Alia.
Alia Bhatt. Okay, you believed her and you bought the product.
Yes, sir.
Okay, she was paid for that. Okay, good, nothing wrong. Even I've done many things. Okay, not an issue. Okay, others, any incident you want to share with this?
Sir, that Artho Herb painkiller oil, sir.
Okay, you bought it because you believe
My mom believed and she bought it, sir.
Okay. The same happened with my family as well. My mom bought this Naptol chapati maker. Okay, and till date chapati never happened in that. In the advertisement, they did 50 chapatis. We are unable to make even single chapati in that. Okay, others, any views? Okay, peripheral route of persuasion. Any questions? Please let me know, students. Okay. Yeah, Steven, why is he absent today? I just wanted to know from him. Is he going to cover this or should I cover this? Others, maybe, okay. I would have completed this unit today, but Steven has said that he'll be doing the presentation on this. Okay, not an issue, students. Let's wait for the next class. And if he is going to do the presentation, fine. Else I'll cover it in the next class. Okay. Okay, any questions, students? Any ambiguity? Please let me know. All fine, all clear. Any questions?